We will make documentaries on Muslim world, the culture and understanding they share. Our future documentaries will have special focus on the other Islamic countries so that the Afghan audience will get to know their lives.
سلام دوستان.
Greetings. We are talking from Bamiyan. We present you the documentary by the name of Bamiyan in my heart. We will start the documentary from the historical and big statues of Bamiyan. Stay with us to describe you about the Bamiyan in two statues.
که همه بامیان رو به شما تشریح میکنیم.
Bamiyan, the place of shining light, sits at the crossroad of many civilizations. Its location near one of the main crossing points through the Hindu Kush means that its history has been heavily influenced by passing merchants, pilgrims, and conquerors. The earliest references to Bamiyan occur in 4th century, but the first detailed description of the valley was written by the Chinese pilgrim Huan Tsang, who passed through in about 630 AD on his way to visit Buddhist holy sites in India. Recent research has shown that some of the Buddhist friezes in Bamiyan can be dated back to the early 5th century. In the early 8th century, a Korean pilgrim Huai Chao commented on the extent of the Buddhist population in Bamiyan. But with the revival of Hinduism in India and the inclusion of the new religion of Islam from the West, Buddhism had begun to decline in its Indian homeland. During the late 8th and 9th centuries, Bamiyan came under the control of Abbasid Caliphate of Baghdad, and Islam gradually spread throughout the region. Most of the statues and stupas that existed in the region throughout the centuries were demolished by the Iranian Safarid between the 9th and 10th centuries. The Buddhism religion, though faded in India, but was in full practice in Bamiyan. The monumental Buddha statues were Bamiyan's greatest attraction until their destruction by the Taliban in 2001. Dating back to about AD 500, they were the largest standing Buddha statues in the world. To the west is the 53-meter-high Buddha of Salsal, and to the east stands the 38-meter Buddha of Shamama. The great Buddhas in Bamiyan were created in the early 6th century AD by the area's large community of monks. It's mentionable that Salsal statue is one of the 8 historical areas in Bamiyan which is recorded in the World Heritage Places by UNESCO in 2003. Now we reach to one of the art masterpieces that exist as a cultural phenomenon in Bamiyan, and it is Salsal, which is 53 meters high. Salsal statue is the masterpiece of the 5th and 6th century. This statue is known as the biggest statue of the world, which was carved by the Buddhists over 100 years between 5th and 6th centuries. Bamiyan was considered as the main center of then Buddhism, and followers of the Buddhism were gathering for the worship in Bamiyan. Shrine and sacred places were known as Buddhism centers, where they were also observing their religious ceremonies.
اطراف از این مجسمه معابد بودایی هست.
There are Buddha shrines around the statues with the different types and designs. The beautiful shrines were elaborately built with the oil colors and jewels. But unfortunately, during the war in Taliban regime, it was destroyed and the precious relics were looted.
رسیدیم به یکی از
Now we are in an attractive cave which was used as a conference room. In this room, religious elders and leaders were convening and discussing on the issues. This is a big cave with 17 meters height, 20 meters length, and 9 meters width.
یکی از
This is another cave with a decoration made by Hindus and ancient Romans. Initially it was a cave, but by the passage of the time, the pillars are completely damaged. And if it is not paid attention, it will be further destroyed. We request from the authorities of Ministry of Information and Culture to seriously focus on restoration and repair of this cave to prevent losing our significant cultural heritage as the minute of Ghazni destroyed by the ignorance of authorities.
دوستای گرامی ما و شما در حال
Now we are locating close to the Salsal statue. We can see the right and left feet of the statue that are less harmed. That is a big piece of stone separated from the statue body. We brought machines to carry it but failed to do so because of its heavy burden.
در قسمت دوستای گرامی
This is the quantity of remains of explosive put inside the statue. The explosive are big barrel bombs, bombs carried by planes, fuse, and other types of explosives. We gathered the remains of explosives in order to show them to the tourists who visit here to inform them what had happened with these statues. Monks lived in small isolated caves built directly into the side of the Bamiyan cliffs. Their caves were simple but decorated with elaborate religious paintings and statues.
رسیدیم به یکی از استوپاها
This is a shrine discovered by Professor Tarzi 2 years ago. This Buddha shrine lies between Salsal and Shamama statues. It is made with the beautiful colors. The red color we see is mercury. The stone used in structure of the shrine is widely exist in Bamiyan and can be easily carved. Here we see two shrines discovered by Professor Tarzi. Some of the parts of the shrine are covered in order to prevent more damage. Professor Tarzi believes that this small shrine had been used in the beginning of the 8th century. Now this shrine is invisible because it's covered for protection.
افغانستان کشوری است غنی و سرشار با
In the 9th century, the Buddhists moved from the Bamiyan valley as Muslims moved in. Naturally, the Buddhas of Bamiyan were left behind, but they were not forgotten. In that time, when statues of Buddhas were built, it was a masterpiece of the art, and so it's now. Don't forget to watch the second part of this documentary about the small Buddha of Shamama next week. God bless you all.
تا آن وقت شاد و موفق باشید.